Good morning, Division 2. Happy Monday. Just checking in early in the week here. I just want to share a few things with you for the week ahead, as well as a recap of what happened last week. So last week I got the pleasure of getting to call each and every one of your families. It was a very emotional week. There was a lot of joy for me in getting to connect with many of you. It was great to hear your voices, hear that everybody is safe and everybody's all right. But there was a lot of sadness for me as well. It was a very emotionally heavy task because it was just sad knowing that we don't get to have our normal in the classroom anytime soon. Sad that we're losing out on so many of those grade 7 experiences that I know you were all looking so forward to, that I was looking forward to as your teacher, and that we don't get to share those at least right now. So I just wanted to reach out to let you know you're not alone in those feelings. That emotional load went with me right into the weekend. I definitely had I'll call it my midday crisis 4-hour nap on Saturday because my sleep last week was awful. So you're not alone. That emotional load is carried by all of us, and I think you need to be aware of that and that I'm right there with you. The SD35 Continuity of Learning Plan was presented to us as staff on Friday. Specific details of that plan for parents were sent out by Mr. David, so there's a few considerations for parents, but it doesn't really tell you anything about the instruction. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Again, I kind of told many of you this, but we just learned about this plan late on Friday afternoon. So this week ahead of us is really about planning. It's about planning for instruction. It's about preparing for this online experience that we're not really that familiar with. So just be aware that this week ahead is not necessarily going to include the parameters and the minutes that are in this plan, but this week is more about engagement. So I'll talk about that a little bit in a second. The specific details of the plan are that each student, or we're supposed to provide each student with 2 hours of instruction plus any flexible learning thereafter on a daily basis. So 40 minutes of that instruction is based on community building, social emotional learning, connection, just to make sure that students continue to be connected with their school and class community, and that they continue to be supported by not only their peers, but their teachers or EAs or different adults that work with them in the building. So that is 40 minutes of our allotted time. 40 minutes on literacy, 40 minutes on numeracy. So that's what to expect. Anything else is sort of fun, extra, and we're going to try to kind of weave in some other subject areas into some of the literacy tasks especially. So just be on the lookout for that. We'll try to explain what's going to be required and what's going to be optional. So we'll try to make that as clear as possible. I do want to reiterate, this will not and this cannot look like face-to-face classroom learning and planning. These are not normal times. This is crisis teaching. This is crisis learning. Everybody needs to step back when they need to. If you're feeling overwhelmed, please reach out. We need to communicate with each other for support, and we'll do the best we can to make sure you're feeling confident about what you're able to do moving forward, okay? So as I said, we're still planning as to what this will look like, so that's what this week is about. The instruction for you guys as students will not specifically start until Tuesday, April 14th. So we're observing Good Friday and Easter Monday on the school calendar. So just be aware that this week is a 4-day week and next week is a 4-day week as well. For everyone, here's what to expect from me. I'm thinking of having a video much like this one posted at the beginning of every week on Monday morning. This video would be posted by 10 a.m. For students, it would be posted on Teams along with any other important links or information they needed. And for parents, it would be emailed to you by 10 a.m. on the same morning. This would give you a little bit of a snapshot of what the week ahead is going to look like, including any important links, any scheduled things that are synchronous, so happen at the same time, or my office hours when you can check in on me. I will be holding office hours throughout the week for students and families, and this is when I'll be available through chat or through a video or audio call for support. And I may use these hours for me to reach out to you as well. They're a great time for us to connect and for me to provide any additional support if you're struggling with anything that's going on around us, being stuck at home, the reality of losing out on this time together, or just a learning concept. Maybe you're struggling with something in math or literacy that you need support with, and we can check in on each other with that. Parents, you're included in this, so it's just not just if students are struggling. If you're trying to support your child and you need help, office hours are a really great time for you to connect with me as well. We're going to also try some optional drop-in video calls for the class to check in if they need that social engagement. This week, we're probably going to try one on Thursday, but I'll give you more details on that as the week progresses. This week, until formal instruction begins, I want students to be checking in on Teams every morning at 10 a.m. This is to build up the habit because this is the number one place you're going to look every morning. Now, I want students to know that when you look for what to do, you always look to our main conversation stream on Teams. So as soon as you log in, you look at the general channel or the general conversation, and that's where you're going to be looking for links from me, a prompt, maybe an engagement prompt, things like that. Okay? This week, I'm going to be creating a chat group for you, for your spirit buddies. And this is what I want you to check in on by 10 a.m. every morning. So we're just going to hold a normal spirit buddies conversation. This could be checking in with how people are doing. This is really important at a time like this. What have they been up to? Maybe you want to challenge each other to try something new or share what you're doing at home to see if somebody else wants to try to learn something, whether it's baking, some of you are sewing, like there's different things that people are trying out that they didn't do before. Okay, but I want you to be checking in on those conversations by 10. So this is exactly like it is in the classroom. The only difference is that it's through text. So at this time, we're not having audio calls or video calls, but we'll talk about kind of getting to that place if we start to feel comfortable. For parents, spirit buddies are a small group of peers that your child checks in with every day at school for about 10 minutes to start the morning. So they check in on each other to see how you're doing, checking on that social emotional affect, and they fill them in on anything they missed. So if they were absent or if they don't understand something, those buddies can be there to connect with each other, so they support our class. This practice has completely transformed our class, and I love the model, and this was something I knew as soon as I saw that SEL, social emotional learning piece, get put into the continuity of learning plan. I said, let's get this spirit buddies piece in. Mrs. Moore also does this in her class, and she was in full agreement with that. So this will count towards that social emotional learning connectivity hour, okay, or 40 minutes. And this will be one of our requirements moving forward. So this is our only fully synchronous task. Synchronous meaning everyone's there together at the same time. Okay, so we don't want somebody not being there and then they don't get to, take part in that learning of checking in with each other and that social emotional intelligence of understanding what people might need in a situation. This is imperative right now as we build community. Okay, so we need people all together at 10 a.m. checking in on that. I will also have this week 2 mini engagement tasks. So these are little challenges, and we're going to use an app called Flipgrid. Flipgrid is basically a little video app. So I'll post a prompt and then people can reply with their different videos. I'll explain more about that later, more to come. I'm going to create an instructional video for you too, so you know how to create a Flipgrid and reply to mine. Okay. So in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Take it slow. This week is all about just getting into those habits. Okay. Check in by 10 a.m. Monday through Thursday this week with your Spirit Buddy group. I'll be creating those today. And if you don't get there today, that is a-okay. Please try for tomorrow morning. All right. Well, for tomorrow is Tuesday. So I miss you all. This is super weird to be creating these videos and trying to guide everybody through access on different devices and in different spots and different hours. But I will try my best to support you. So let's all approach this week with empathy, with compassion, and with caring for one another as we embark on this weird journey of remote learning. Okay, talk to you soon.